Welcome viewers, this is Daily Politics on Trust TV. I am Hamza Idris. President Bola Tinubu has said that the era of fuel subsidy is gone in Nigeria. Tinubu unveiled the decision while delivering his speech at the Eagle Square, where he took his oath of office. Take a look.
Food will be made more abundant. Yet, less costly. Furniture and more while the African Nigerians live. On infrastructure, we shall continue the effort of the Buhari administration and infrastructure development where low and many railroad and water structure of fuel subsidy. Unfortunately, the budget that I've glimpsed is more as impossible. And what I've had is that no provision is there for fuel subsidy. So the fuel subsidy is gone.
And the transition from the old to new government in Kano State on Monday left many stalled at the podium at the Sani Abacha Stadium, where dignitaries were seated during the inauguration of the new Kano State Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf collapsed, and this was as a result of mammoth crowd. Eyewitnesses said the podium collapsed shortly after the new governor was sworn in and delivered his inaugural speech. And on a sad note, Chief Raymond Dokpesi, chairman of Daru Communications, has reportedly died. According to reports, Dokpesi, who was a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, died at the age of 71 in Abuja. The media mogul was said to have died in an Abuja hospital after he suffered a stroke. On the program tonight, we'll be talking to Dr. Umar Ardo, the governorship candidate of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, in Adamawa State in the just concluded elections. He was also a close ally of former President Muhammadu Buhari before they parted ways. He joins us to discuss Nigeria's transition from one democratically elected government to another and what the future holds for the country. Welcome to the program, Doctor.
Thank you, Hamza.
Congratulations on the transition.
Yeah.
We'll go on a short break. Viewers, don't go away. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back. We still have in the studio Dr. Umar Ardo, a chieftain of SDP and a former ally of President Buhari. We deliberately brought him today because he has a lot to share with us. Were you at the Eagle Square? Let's start from that, Doctor.
No, I wasn't.
Why?
I wasn't invited, so I don't want to get crushed in anything that I was not invited.
Buhari did not invite you to accompany him to hand over?
No. President Buhari did not. I spoke with President Buhari last on the 28th of March 2015, on the day of his election. In 2015, that was the last communication I had with him.
Nothing more since then?
Nothing more, in spite of the fact that I initiated his fourth contest.
We are going there maybe later. What is your take on the handing over between former President Buhari and President Tinubu?
Well, for me, I'm very happy. I'm very happy that the 8 gruesome years of President Buhari has come.
Wow, you are describing it as gruesome.
Yeah, they are. You know, for me, in my state, you know, in the country, generally and especially peoples of northern Nigeria, and as a Fulani man, the Fulani people, we have never had it so bad in the history of the Fulanis in Nigeria since, because everything is being heaped on the Fulanis as a result of one misstep or the other by the president.
You're talking about stereotype now and stigmatization.
Yes, the Fulanis have been stigmatized mainly on account of Buhari's leadership, and that has affected us a lot. It has affected me. It has affected a lot of Fulani communities in the rural areas. It has affected the relationship between the Fulanis and other people of Nigeria, and that is why when this election was, when the campaigns for these elections were being prosecuted, a lot of the Fulanis came up and said that we will support, you know, the Bola Tinubu candidacy against, you know, Atiku's candidacy.
Atiku is Fulani.
Yeah.
Buhari is Fulani. That is also Fulani.
That is the reason why I'm saying that in order not to suffer, you know, what happened during the Buhari period, the Fulanis, majority of them deliberately decided to pitch their tent with Bola Tinubu, who is not a Fulani man, against a Fulani man, Atiku, because they don't want to, you know, inherit
a carryover
of what happened, you know, to them on their Fulani leadership.
Is it that they have this feeling that Atiku will not be anything different from Buhari?
Well, no, they really want to make a point that, look, we are not what you think we are. That, for example, like me,
yes,
in 2007, around 2006, after we were relieved of our appointments in the Obasanjo regime, I initiated, and I thought it's best to have South-South president.
This was 2007.
That was 2007. Let us have South-South president. And so I initiated.
That was immediately after Obasanjo?
Yeah, that is Obasanjo's transition.
Yes.
In Obasanjo's transition, my projection was, let us go for a South-Southerner.
After Southwesterner.
After Southwesterner. Now, I distinguish Obasanjo's presidency with between military and civilian. While most people saw Obasanjo's presidency as a Southern democratic president, a Christian democratic president, I saw it as a military president.
Wow.
That the military came, took over power, committed a lot of atrocities, and these atrocities resulted into serious political problems for the country, especially with regards to June 12th. And so in order to resolve the problems that they created, they now brought in their own military man, Obasanjo, from the Southwest, and then a Christian. I was saying to our northerners especially, is that I want people to realize that we are the Northern People's Congress.
Yeah.
And Niger Delta Congress.
Yes.
Northern People's Congress under Ahmadu Bello, and Niger Delta Congress under Chief Harold Dapper Brie. They were the only political parties that gained independence in 1960 as allies. Because after Northern Nigeria gained self-government in March 1959, by March 1960, there was an alliance between the Niger Delta Congress and the Northern People's Congress.
Yes.
And which brought in Harold Dapper Brie. That was why Harold Dapper Brie became the first, chairman of council of Ahmadu Bello University. And that was why Milford Okilo was the parliamentary secretary to the Prime Minister Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. So by 1960,
to strengthen the alliance.
Yes, by October 1960, when we gained independence, we went into independence as allies. Now, I was saying to our northerners in 2006, look, instead of us to continue saying that power should return to the north in 2000, power should return to the north, why don't we in the north use our numerical strength, our numerical superiority, our voting strength to now bring our allies, the Southerners. And that was how we came up with the idea of reciprocating traditional alliance. That was the slogan of Peter Odili's presidency, reciprocating traditional alliance. And we had a lot of support in the north. So that if we had, a Southerner had won in 2007, these things, these invectives against the North, especially the House of Fulani, that you are born to rule, you just want to manipulate power, you are power monger, all these things wouldn't have happened.
But there was only an interlude of 2 years, Doctor, if you look at it. Despite the fact that Obasanjo did not allow that to happen, when he gave it to Yar'Adua lasted for less than 10
but
years.
Not in the same conditions.
Yeah, but they got it.
But not in the same conditions. Because in 2010, when President Goodluck Jonathan took over power, it was not as if the North handed it over to him.
It was by providence.
It was by providence. And it created problem between, in fact, Jonathan presidency virtually broke the North South-South alliance. It virtually broke it.
He created friction?
Not him.
Okay,
but the circumstances of the politics created this. And that was it. And so that is why led us to this position, Tinubu's presidency. Now, the little role I played was now to shift this alliance. Since the alliance between the North and the South-South did not go, now shift this alliance to do an alliance between the North and the Southwest.
Okay, how did you do that? Does it have anything to do, because you tweeted recently, and I want to quote it to set our conversation, that, because I found it a bit controversial. You said, and I quote, Buhari became president at his 4th contest after 3 unsuccessful attempts. To that extent, and to the limits of claims, he owes his presidency to me, that is you. In that the idea of the formation of the APC and his 4th contest was mine, yours, right? I also convinced him to start it and got it working. I don't want to quote more, but you cited a certain IGP who warned you against doing what you intended to do. Can you shed more light on this vis-a-vis the foundation you laid on the collapsed alliance between the North and South-South?
Okay, now, we all know President Buhari contested 3 times. He contested in 2003 under ANPP and lost. He contested in 2007, still under NPP, and lost. And then he now left ANPP and contested and formed a new political party, CPC, and contested under CPC.
Which was formed by Senator Rufai Hanga. We had him 3 days ago.
Well, whatever it is, but what President Buhari told me was that those responsible for the formation of CPC, he said that after his 2nd contest in 2007, he brought in his people and said to them that it's over for me. I will not contest again, he told them. Then he said that 12 people came to him later, led by Nasir El-Rufai, the former Kaduna State governor, and Jana Jafaru Issa, a former military governor to Kaduna State. That 12 of them came, they met him, they now came up with the proposition that convinced him to accept to contest again, but not under ANPP, but to form a new political party, CPC, and contest under that. He accepted. He called in those people that he worked with in the NPP's people, and then informed them of this new decision. But they have agreed, along with them and with Rufai and the rest, that he gave them 2 conditions. One, if we lost in 2011, it will be the third and final time I will not contest again. Nobody will come and approach me again. They agreed that if we lost in 2011, that we will not also go to tribunal, having gone to tribunal 2 times, and that nothing came out of it. They agreed. I was not a party to that.
Oh, you weren't a party to that?
At all. I was in my PDP.
Okay.
I was fighting my governorship in PDP. Then I took PDP to court.
11 times or 12 times, something
11
like that.
times.
Yeah.
You know. I took PDP. That was the first one. I took PDP to court, and PDP, my case was struck out.
Yeah.
Immediately, my case was struck out in, I think it was in January or February 2011. PDP in Adamawa State dismissed me from the party.
Yeah.
Which was wrong. And I now took them to court. I took them
the
to
foundation
court.
of politicians.
Yeah, I took them to court again. Now, I felt that PDP was drifting this, it was taking this country into drift. So then the idea to remove PDP from office, after doing my own objective analysis of the material political situation on the ground, I saw that it was only General Muhammad Buhari, if given the right strategy, that will win this election, that will defeat the PDP. So,
you gave him the strategy?
Then I approached him.
What is that strategy?
But it's just a simple thing. The man has contested and he has always won in the north. He has always won.
12 million votes. Yeah.
12 million votes there. But he had never won the general election. Why? It's simple. Because he had never won any zone in the south.
Across the Niger.
Yes, he had never won even one state outside northern Nigeria. So I said to him, sir, if you can win any zone in the south, any in the south, you would have gotten to the majority votes and then the two-thirds spread. And then I did an objective analysis of the 3 zones of the south and then concluded that he cannot win, he cannot get the south-south, he cannot get the southeast, but he can get the southwest. He can get the southwest only if he can bring the political leader of the southwest, that is the current president, Bola Tinubu. Yes, if you can get Bola Tinubu to be your vice president. You told Buhari this.
Yes, no. And this was outside his discussion with the likes of General Jafaru Issa,
No. Because you see, Jafaru Issa and Rufai was for CPC.
Yeah.
Which was between 2007 to 2011. Oh. When they came in 2011, remember, and I have it on record, on the 13th of April 2011, when he was closing his presidential campaign under the CPC, if you remember, when he broke down and cried, he said that if he lost the election on the 16th, the presidential election was slated for 16 April 2011. And he was closing his campaign on the 13th April, 3 days to the election. He said if he lost the election on the 16th, that will be the end. He will not contest again. He will not go to court again.
Yeah.
So, and he had already told them. So by the time we went, Jega came out with, Professor Taru Jega came out with the results and declared Jonathan as the winner.
Yeah.
And then that was the end.
That would have been the end of the road.
That would have been the end. In fact, that is the closure of his part 1 in politics.
Then part 2, you open it.
I opened the part 2. I then went to him and gave him this idea, did the analysis, finished, and said, sir, if you can just say yes and approve of this, I think we can make it. We will start by going to tribunal. And in going to tribunal, although Jega did not do electronic voting, although Jega did not bring about the Beaver system, but Jega did biometric registration of voters. And we have used fingers, to vote. So I now said, if we can get forensic analysis of the ballot papers, we will bring out the truth of the election. One way or the other, we will bring out the truth of the 2011 general election. And this should be the beginning of your contest. He said, no, I won't agree to that. I have already made it public, and that is the end. Disappointed.
I will not go back. I will not go back. Swallow my vomit.
Yeah, but I left, less than 3 hours. My phone rang. He was on the line. He said, come over. I went up. I went back. They took me up. He met me. He said to me, I agree. Go ahead and do it. And then,
what magic did you do?
There was absolutely no magic in it. All that was required was for him to get Bola Tinubu to accept to be the vice president, and then they do the merger between CPC that has 12 million votes and ACN that has 6 states, and Buhari president, Bola Tinubu vice president. They go to the election, they win. There was nothing.
Now postscript, after the 2015 election, you said that was the last time you spoke to him.
Yeah, it's a very sad thing, but let's put that, because immediately after he won, he just locked me out.
Who was that IGP that you said he warned you ab initio not to risk?
He's late.
Was that Gamboji Meta?
Yeah, it was.
But he served under IBB. Probably that time when he asked you not to.
That was why I thought I was smart. I thought he was being prejudiced. I thought he was biased. And I refused to heed to his advice.
Now, has God vindicated him, or may I say Nigerians, have they vindicated him, or who vindicated Gamboji Meta now?
Posterity.
Have you apologized, even though he's not alive?
To whom?
To him for not really accepting what he...
I'm not bound to accept his advice. I wasn't bound to accept anybody's advice.
But
I've committed absolutely...
Do you have any regrets?
I've committed absolutely no offense. What I did was constitutional. And as a Muslim, Islam is very clear about this. Actions are judged according to intentions.
Yeah,
my intention was noble, was patriotic, and was sincere. And it's not as if after the formation, because having come up with the idea, having convinced him, I now help him to start it, organize it until it reached to a cruising level.
Yeah, when he stabilized of sorts.
When party politics, APC was registered on the 31st of April, and party politics took its normal course. And he went and then, won the nomination and then won the general election, thanks to the present president.
Bola Tinubu.
Thanks to him. Without him,
are you happy that he has won, Tinubu?
I'm very happy. I'm very happy.
Most likely he's watching us, or people close to him are really watching us. What will you advise him to start with? Tinubu, that he has been sworn in now, he is the president and commander-in-chief of the armed forces.
His acceptance speech has said a whole lot that gives confidence.
Okay.
The economy is not, he has said, he didn't only say what he is going to do in the economy, but he has also said how. How is always the most difficult aspect of action. So he knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
I believe he has taken care of the economic aspects, how he's going to resolve it. The end of subsidy, as you have just...
Yes, but that has caused a lot of flop, let me put it mildly, because if you check, maybe while on your way here, you must have seen, gridlock at filling stations. That simple statement that he's not for subsidy, it's like it has changed the mood of Nigerians. Do you think it was a right decision for him to have said what he said, or he will have said it in another form? I'm not an economist, but one thing is for sure.
I believe he knows what he's saying. He knows what he's doing.
As an accountant?
As an accountant, as an astute politician, as a public servant who has been in the trenches for long, who has survived so many obstacles, who has fought in so many battles, and who govern the most sophisticated and the wealthiest state in the country, which is Lagos. No, he knows what he's doing. All he needs to now do, as far as I'm concerned, is to understand the national constituency politics, and then act in certain manner that will give confidence to each and every part of this country. He needs, to unite the country and bind us as a nation.
He said
As
something.
a people, we are strong.
He said something. We are too great a nation and too grounded as a people to rob ourselves of our finest destiny. This nation's journey has been shaped by the prayers of millions and the collective sacrifices of us all. We have to endure hardship that will have made other society. We have endured hardship that will have made other societies crumble. Is that correct?
That is very correct. That is very correct. As a people, Nigerians...
Is this a hit at the outgone president, or he's actually speaking the minds of
It's a statement of fact, he's saying. It's a statement of fact. He has not, throughout his speech, hit at the president, at the former president.
Are you sure?
No. He has not.
I have another quotation. Maybe it will dispute what you said. Maybe I try to see it as a nexus. Maybe because he said, our administration shall govern on your behalf, but never rule over you.
Yeah.
I remember when Buhari, on a similar day like this in 2015, he said, I belong to nobody.
And I belong to everybody. He ended up belonging to nobody.
What do you mean, Doctor?
Who did he belong to? Who did he belong? Well, Nigerians are crying. Nigerians are crying. You see, we have already passed that stage. They say people will be given certificates, all over, for surviving Buhari's presidency. Well, if they give you a certificate of a national diploma, they'll give me a certificate of PhD.
Are you saying Nigerians are happy that he's gone?
From the circle that I belong, they are all happy. Everybody is.
All right. Help me hold your breath for a moment. Doctor will be back shortly.
Thank
Viewers, don't go away. We'll be back shortly.
Now, as part of efforts to support Africa's goal of strengthening...
Now, looking at the activity chart, as you can see right here, a total volume of 130...
Created a Boko Haram crisis that at that time was restricted to Yobe.
How secured are they? You can see security men with blood.
This is the road leading up to the...
Already, if you look at England's squad, you are looking at EPL, you are looking at their names. You are not looking at...
Welcome back. If you are just joining, this is Daily Politics on Trust TV. Do well to follow the conversations across our social platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and watch us live on YouTube. I still have in the studio Dr. Umar Ardo, a chieftain of SDP, gubernatorial candidate of SDP in Adamawa State, and a former ally of former President Muhammadu Buhari. He said while Nigerians are craving to have certificate, you're looking for you deserve PhD. You have one already, academic PhD.
Yeah.
But you need one for survival.
Yeah, you have.
Maybe you should be on the same in the same class with Shehu Sani, because I have his quotation here. He said, "He who came to power as a messiah and magician who has a solution to all the problems of the country should not be granted the privilege of forgiveness when he fails to achieve what he purported." Is that true?
Well, I don't know.
Shehu said Buhari should not be forgiven. You earlier said that Nigerians are really happy that he has gone.
Yeah.
And this man, he said Buhari begged for forgiveness. And here we are now.
This is an opinion of the senator.
Yeah.
So an opinion, you wouldn't say whether it is true or not.
Or through representation.
It's just an opinion he expressed. What I'm expressing myself is simply an opinion. However, if the present regime will have to be taken seriously, it has to take seriously the issues that transpired in the previous administration.
Like what?
Now, the previous administration came on basically three major strands.
Yeah.
Fighting corruption, building the economy, and then ensuring national security.
Yes.
Now, in terms of fighting corruption, I cannot say that he had done that. Why? Because almost there's no regime that had expended public resources, no, owned or borrowed public resources with very little to show for it.
But Buhari claimed, he claimed that he has provided more infrastructure than any other government.
Please, like this regime, there's none. Now, okay, then if he said he provided infrastructure like no other regime, please, we are in Abuja.
Yes.
What infrastructure has the Buhari regime added in Abuja since he came into office in 2000,
if anything, he actually commended the former minister, Musa Bello, of not giving land to anybody. And that was partly why he retained him for 8 years. He said he was able to preserve the FCT.
It really doesn't matter whether... Now, I'm asking a question. If he says he has given more infrastructure than any regime, we are in Abuja, the federal capital, at least it should start here.
In the FCT.
Yeah.
But you can see he has completed some of the bridges left behind by former administrations.
How many bridges? I live in Asokoro. And there is a bridge, overhead bridge in Asokoro that was started since the time of Bala Muhammad, I think. It's still the way it has been.
But he has completed some, certainly. Look at Jonathan Express.
It is still under construction. It's still not concluded.
He has done his best.
He has touched it. Oh, he did his best. Well, his best isn't good enough. That is one.
But
two,
look at, let's forget about Abuja. What about outside? Look at the local bridge in Nasarawa. Look at Second Niger Bridge. Look at the Kano-Kaduna road.
Which Kano-Kaduna road? When did you follow Kano-Kaduna road?
2 weeks I passed.
What
it's almost done, honestly, from Kaduna to Kano. Of course, there are issues.
I have not been from Kaduna to Kano.
But maybe from Abuja to Kaduna, that's where we have issues.
I've always followed Abuja-Kaduna.
Yeah.
But it still is worse than the way it was.
Maybe 40%.
Abuja to Mina is still terrible. Abuja to Lokoja is still terrible. Where is the railway in northern Nigeria? One single rail line in northern Nigeria.
They are building Kaduna now.
One single dam in northern Nigeria. One single clear, infrastructure that's changed, people's life in northern Nigeria.
Doctor, you're sounding as if Buhari has not done anything. But this afternoon, Tinubu described him as a dependable ally, an honest man,
These are the three, it's two sentences. I was watching the president's speech very carefully.
Okay, what is your take on
these
that?
two sentences where he said he was a dependable ally, and an honest person. Yes.
And he will build on what he has done.
In the infrastructure, what he said, these are political statements.
Oh.
They are political statements.
You think Tinubu has started with political statements?
This is a political statement.
And should not be taken seriously?
No, I'm not saying it shouldn't be taken seriously. Okay. But at least, in terms of alliance, he will say Buhari was a reliable ally. Because why? It was Buhari that approached him and sought his alliance in the formation of the APC.
Yeah.
And in spite of all the turns and twists, which, of course, Tinubu himself, because he was a strong politician, a strong rocket fighter, he overcame them. If he was people like me, nobody would have heard of him. Nobody.
You think if not for the fact that he fought, you think if not for the fact that he fought, he wouldn't have gotten this?
100%.
Buhari wouldn't have.
100%.
You think the support given to him by Buhari wasn't enough?
Do you want me to enumerate?
Go ahead.
One. Buhari approached him to be his vice president.
Yeah.
When APC was formed, when the time to nominate the vice president, was he nominated vice president?
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't.
But that wasn't the fault of Buhari.
Please. It was at his discretion to do.
No, but Bukola Saraki and the rest said they don't want
when did Bukola and the rest?
Ticket.
When did Bukola and Atiku and the 5 governors come into APC? APC was a formed party. They joined APC in December 2014. Was it or November 2014? So now, immediately they push, and then the president was forced to bring somebody else.
Wow.
You know, Asibanjo. The moment the vice president was nominated, Buhari appointed Amechi as the director general of the campaign. The motive was clear, you know, to weaken that angle.
Tinubu's
the Tinubu angle, because the money and the logistics and the ruggedness that was needed in order to push for the campaign would be brought in by the Rivers State governor. That was amazing.
Is that an allegation?
While Wike was spending Rivers State money everywhere, Amechi channeled Rivers State money towards the campaign.
You are alleging, Doctor. It happened.
It happened now. I don't know.
If it takes you to court, you will refer your claim.
100%.
Wow.
100%.
Okay, fair enough.
You know, so then after second term, the national executive of the party was dissolved. And the caretaker committee was appointed for 6 months, thinking that it will work out, you know, means of, you know, taking over the party.
Yeah, from Tinubu.
Then 6 months, they added another 6 months. They added another 6 months.
Wow.
They added another 6 months.
Oh my God.
You know, almost 2 years. They ended up, you know, on a consensus of this is the man that should be Abdullahi Adamu. But having a national working committee itself was not sufficient, because the party had a route from what? Local government, state to the national. So at the end of the day, there was just nothing anyone could do.
Do you think Abdullahi Adamu will survive Tinubu's administration?
I don't know. He has a term period, you know, 4 years. I've never seen, you know, either in the PDP or except those mushroom political parties where somebody remain the party chairman for life. The key political parties, no party chairman has survived even one full term. Talk less of having 2 terms.
I am asking because, you know, at the height of the electioneering and the politicking, you know, it was clear that a certain section of the APC were not for Tinubu. They were for another person. And that was why I was asking you whether Tinubu will feel so free to work with that.
No, well, he is a politician. He is a politician. He is the president of the country. He is the president of everybody. You have to overlook certain things, you know, and because human beings, nobody is perfect. We all have our own deficiencies. And if you say you are going to hold on the deficiencies of others, you will end up not dealing with anybody.
Yeah.
So you have to, you know, overlook certain things, but you must also ensure that in overlooking certain things, what they do, these certain things do not, you know, disrupt the trajectory of your administration, and it does not destroy the country.
Do you think that there are certain infractions that will be too expensive for Tinubu to ignore from Buhari's administration, that he must have to probe them? Do you think there are things like that?
Yeah, I believe so many.
List like 3.
Now, we have taken so much loans. We need to know these loans, where have they been put to use?
It's now stand at 77 trillion.
Yeah, we need to know. And there are a lot of allegations on so many operators of the Buhari regime. I know many of them. Who didn't have, you know, even a small space as an office, who didn't have any money of their own. At the end of the week, they will come. Sometimes they will come. Some of them used to come to me, you know, to get, you know, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000.
To travel for a weekend.
You know, to do something, yeah.
What are they now?
But today, you know, we've seen how much they are controlling in terms of N&K, Naira and Kobo.
So you want the president to probe
No,
this?
the point I'm trying to make is that this issue of fighting corruption did not take place. And it's some of the things that endeared President Buhari towards people like us. his war against indiscipline, his war against corruption as a military head of state, his, what he had done during the PTF days, the roads, infrastructures, and so on and so forth, and believing that, as also the former governor of the Northeastern, state, he had an insight into the Northeast society. Therefore, he was in the best position to deal with Boko Haram, a former military officer, a former GOC who was...
And he has fell in all this.
Yes, who was said to have sent Chadian rebels running. Nobody was better placed to take care of the security situation
He said he has
of
done
the
his
country.
best. He said
well, if this is his best, you should tell him that best is not good enough.
You are disappointed?
Of course. It's not good enough.
Do you think he is the honest person now that he has finished? The way he portrayed himself and the way Tinubu described him this afternoon, he remained incorruptible? Based on your estimation?
I don't know. I didn't work with him in office. I didn't know. The little that I have worked with, I've worked with him between 2011 to 2013, from the institution of the case at the tribunal, to the registration of APC in July 2013. No Nigerian had more influence in driving Buhari's politics then than me, none. And I'm saying it openly. Between April 2011 to July 2013, none. So after that, when he won the election, he went on his own. I was not party to it.
Why are we having this? You are one. When we hosted Senator Rufai Hanga, he said quite a number of people. I don't want to keep mentioning names because it's not really the same. But why do you think he distanced himself from most of the people that actually worked for him, those who sacrificed their comfort for him?
Well, I'm not in a position to answer that question.
Okay,
the question can only be answered by him, because I racked my head.
Yeah.
Why did he do that, especially to me? Because we parted with him, as I told you, at the airport here.
Yeah.
He took a flight, and these things I'm saying, they are verifiable. He took his chartered flight. He's gone to Daura Ozi Katsina on Friday. Then I took a chartered flight. The flight took only me.
Wow.
I paid 15,000 naira. I mean, $1,000, $15,700 for an aircraft to take me.
From your pocket?
Yeah, to take me to Yola. And in the morning of the election day, we communicated, wishing him good luck, assuring him that it will be okay, everything will be fine. I went to my unit, delivered him in my unit. I went to my local ward, delivered him in my ward, in my local government, delivered him in my local government, allowed the state to be delivered by the senior stakeholders, Atiku, Nyako, and the rest. I now came back to Abuja. And then we were at the situation room until the flash of the news that Jonathan had called to congratulate him.
Yeah.
And then
only for you to be asked.
Everything changed.
But what was your expectation from him? Appointment, compensation?
No, I was expecting that I will be accommodated and appointed in the regime so that these ideas that I had, I would also help to advise so that the system, will be strengthened. My belief in his ability to do things, I will advise and help and ensure that, these things are done. So, but when you are out completely, and those that surrounded him, whom I worked with, because he introduced me to so many of them, come and work with this, introduce me, work with his former Attorney General, work with his, the great and powerful Tunde, work with his in-law, work with this. I worked with all of them, and then we got, and all of them, they also...
But at what level did these people, got it wrong? And you have the likes of Adamu, you have the likes of Customs, DG, Hamid Ali, quite a number that were also close to him. Is it that they did not do enough to help him actually do better than what he did?
You see, he put in a round peg in, square holes. So obviously there's going to be a problem. Adamu, with all due respect, he's well educated, he's very intelligent, but he's not an educationist.
Was that why we had protracted strikes?
He gave an accountant and a newspaper columnist Minister of Education. There's something to see. Amechi was political science. Go and run the transportation. Silva read English. Go and run Ministry of Petroleum. Udoma was a lawyer. Go and do national planning. Then, if you look at the range of those that he put in offices, they were actually not round pegs in round holes.
They are good, but taken to the wrong places.
Well, that you can put it that
What
way.
will you now advise President Tinubu?
Round pegged in round holes. He will be first. He got it right in his declaration acceptance speech.
You are satisfied with his speech,
yeah.
But some are actually bashing him that this speech wasn't really loaded with ideas.
No, very loaded with ideas. It's very, very loaded with ideas in resolving our problems, in resolving the economic, social, and infrastructural issues, in resolving the security issues, in resolving the monetary issues. He has outlined these things very clearly, and he showed how. The only area that he did not discuss is the political angle. And I know he will take it right. Integrating all Nigerians to form his government. Let him not be like his predecessor who said, this one gave me 5% and therefore we will not work with them.
Talking about Southeast.
Yes, whether they give you no percent at all, they are Nigerians and they have the liberty to elect who they want. And if the one they elected has not been victorious, and the ones that they did not elect becomes victorious, the one that has become victorious is the president of the country.
Do you think he has the strength and the commitment, Tinubu, to fight corruption?
You see, one thing is for sure. As he said himself, he applied for this job. He campaigned for this job.
And nobody should.
He has gotten the job
him.
now. Now is how he handles the job. Nigeria is a big country. We have so many ethnic nationalities, different cultures, different backgrounds, different idiosyncrasies, different everything in our cultures and traditions and so on. We have to understand the sentiments, the needs and the prejudices of our various people and work on them. The moment you understand and you work on them, politically it's going to be easy. So what it means is that he must understand the constituency politics. Campaigning and like he did and won the election, getting an alliance there, for the purpose of winning election is quite different from politics of governance.
Okay, I still have more questions, but time not on our side. But two, which you shall answer, please, in succession quickly. Where is your case for the governorship in Adamawa?
We are at the tribunal, and we are confident we are going to win at the tribunal. We came into the tribunal from a technical aspect.
Technical. But people are avoiding technicalities in courts.
No. See, technical in the sense that in Adamawa there were two sets of results and two sets of declarations. And INEC resolved this issue. Our point is that in resolving this issue, INEC breached
its protocol,
administrative discretions and so many other things.
And you're going to challenge that?
We are. Then secondly, there is violence. The Electoral Act is clear. Where there is violence at the level or at the collation center, you cancel election. There was clear violence in Adamawa at the collation center.
All right, finally, do you think Buhari is happy the way he is right now in Daura?
No, I don't want to think for him.
You allow him with
Let
his...
him think
is
for
it burden
himself.
or with
Let
his
him
joy?
think for himself.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Umar Ardo, for coming to our program. We hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you.
We hope to have you again.
Thank you.
And viewers, that's a wrap on today's edition. Do join us tomorrow for another interesting package. For now, bye-bye. I'm Hamza Idris.